National Secretary Askola Ologbondiyan accuses ruling party of harassing its governors to join the APC. And later on the show, traffic jam hits Ibadan as students block roads over Polytechnic renaming. Well, I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade, Utitoju, and Adewale Adeoye. Journalist Hangout starts right now. Now let's begin the conversation. In today's media landscape, innovation is no longer optional. And for those who know it, the rewards are beginning to show. TVC Communications has been named winner of the best use of technology in media at the 14th Digital Innovation Awards held in Accra, Ghana. The award recognizes the organization's strategic adoption of digital tools to strengthen news delivery and audience engagement across platforms. Organizers said the honor reflects TVC's commitment to transforming journalism through technology as a model that it has become the standard for credible media in the region. Now let's share that moment with you.
I would say it's not a win just for TVC Communications. It's a win for Nigeria. It's a win for Africa. It's a testament to the fact that when we as Africans use technology, it shows that we don't just use it, we can leverage technology for ourselves, and we can tell African stories in our own language. And I mean, why we're here really is because of our AI anchors. And our AI anchors delivering bulletins in Pidgin, Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa is a very strong testament that we need to not shy away from AI, but we need to let it amplify us, let it amplify our stories. And that's why we are here. And I believe that if we in Africa embrace this responsibly, ethically, to tell our own stories, and we continue to develop and innovate, and we be the disruptors that we should be, the world would listen. When Africa develops and innovates for Africa, the whole world will listen. So congratulations, everyone. Congratulations, TVC Communications.
I mean, congratulations to TVC. I mean, BKO, congratulations to us.
Yes.
But talk to me, what does TVC's recognition, for the best use of technology in media say about the future of broadcasting in Nigeria, not just Nigeria, Africa, and the world over?
Yes, the organizers of the award ceremony wanted to see how use of technology could be rapidly promoted across the media landscape of our continent. And what they've tried to do is to identify the top players in the area of use of technology, the media, and digital transformation generally. No one will argue about the fact that when it comes to use of technology, TVC is the leader in our country.
Absolutely.
And you need to be privileged to see our studios, see the equipment that we use, to know that we have intentionally made up our minds to be the best in the area of use of technology to deliver credible news to our people. And I'm not surprised. I've said before that there's nowhere on this continent where you can find this kind of studio.
Sure.
Some of the people who have been here have been asking, how did you people manage to put this together? But it's not something that started today. The studio that was set ablaze was also the best in Africa.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember the former chairperson of the African Union, Lamine Zuma, walking into our studios for an interview session and saying, wow, I've been to different countries in Africa. I've never seen anything like this. That was some years back. Today, what the investment that TVC has made in technology is even greater than what Dlamini Zuma saw. So here we are, leveraging on technology, trying our best to be the best at what we do. And it's so fitting that far away in Ghana, we've been recognized for what we do. I congratulate the CEO because she's so forward-looking, and she is someone who wants to make sure that the technology at our disposal is used appropriately and sufficiently.
Yes.
And you can see the AI, the idea of the AI anchors was hers. Many people didn't think that it would work, but you can see that on the day we debuted it, many people were pleasantly surprised and happy at the same time. So we need to continue along this path, and I'm confident that TVC is in a good place under our leadership, and we will continue to see innovations, you know, as we go on.
I mean, with this award, you know, from far away Ghana, is it safe to say that Nigeria is reclaiming the lead when it comes to media innovation across Africa?
I think we have always led, you know, Africa. We are talking about broadcast media. We started in October 1959.
Yes.
For, you know, Western Nigerian television station. If not for military intervention, Nigeria will have gone far, far beyond where we are today. So I think that since private media started, TV station started, you know, that were given the right to broadcast in, I think, 92, 93 or thereabout, you know. So many started to make that effort, but many of them failed. Only very few are still surviving today. I think what has kept TVC on is the objectivity, the human resources, you know, that work at the station, and then the fairness, you know. That's why you are talking about 5 million viewers in one day, you know. So I think the award is not just for TVC. The award is also for Nigeria. You know, it's an acknowledgement of the fact that Nigeria is making progress in terms of the realm of TV broadcast. So I congratulate TVC, and I believe this is just the beginning. Many people have come here will tell you that, look, this can compare with CNN, with Al Jazeera.
Exactly.
So I think it's the hope.
Or even better.
Yeah, or even better. So I think it's an inspiration to Africa.
Absolutely.
The award is not just for TVC alone. It's for Africa. It's for West Africa. It's for, you know, all of us. So I'm really happy. And it's coming, you know, in Ghana. You know, it's not something that you can say somebody will, you know, lobby to. So it's an independent award. I say congratulations to TVC. And I think it's the beginning.
Absolutely. Congratulations to TVC. Congratulations to us.
Yes.
Absolutely.
The sky is our target.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's not how do they even say it?
Right, it's a starting point, actually.
Yes, the sky is the starting point for us.
Yeah.
That was what I wanted to say.
Exactly, it's a starting point.
Yes.
All right, let's move straight to our next conversation. In economic stewardship, reducing debts and unlocking resources are twin parts to sustainable growth, and Kogi State appears to be walking both parts. The state now ranks as the 5th lowest in domestic debt nationwide, following remarkable debt reduction of over 101.43 billion naira in just over one fiscal quarter under Governor Usman Ododo's administration. The State Auditor General Yakubu Okala said Kogi's improved debt standing is evidence of transparency and effective oversight. I mean, Mikhail, Kogi State climbing to 5th place among states with lowest domestic debt in Nigeria is indeed an achievement. I mean, it's not easy, but talk to me. Is this a reflection of fiscal discipline?
Yes. is a big reflection of fiscal discipline and availability of funds.
Okay.
Before the removal of subsidy, no one could have done this. The removal of subsidy means states now earn way higher than, receive way higher from the distributable revenue from the center than they used to receive. I remember, I'm sure you remember the interview with the governor of Ekiti State, who said, if not for the removal of subsidy, many states would have been bankrupt. And that some governors would have even fled their states.
Because they won't be able to pay salaries, they can't do anything.
We would have been in the same situation that we were in 2015.
Okay.
When President Buhari was now giving bailouts to states. And Kogi had the highest at that time. Kogi received the highest bailout in the country, followed by Osun State. Back then, yes. Kogi received the highest bailout, followed by Osun State. Now, a state that received the highest bailout from President Buhari after he got to power, now in position to reduce its debt stock from 121.81 billion to just 20.8. It's a significant milestone.
Big time.
You see, when this governor came in, remember the first documentary that I did about agriculture. Governor Ododo, as an auditor himself, got tractors, Kogi State tractors that had been, some of them
abandoned,
taken to distant places like Enugu State. You know, somebody will come, say, well, I just want to use it, I will return it. He got all those tractors back
to the state.
The ones that were disused, he fixed them because he felt, look, if we needed to import those tractors, one, you will lose time, and rainfall is seasonal. So in order to make hay while the sun shines, he just felt, let me bring in as many of these tractors as possible. He got them from different places that those things were taken to, brought them back to Lokoja. They began to repair them. He saved the country a lot of, the state a lot of money that would have been expended on buying new tractors. He saved time that could have been lost. If you had to import, you wait for those things to be brought into the country. That takes time. Then you wait for clearance.
Yes.
Even clearance itself will cost a lot of money. So he factored all of that. He just felt, look, let's repair these things. And we saw some of them rumbling, helping farmers to tractorize their farms and helping to boost food production in the state. So he's somebody who is very frugal. He's already imagining, as an accountant, how do I manage the funds at our disposal? That is what he's doing. So now, what this does is that he will now have more funds to spend on infrastructure development and those people-centered projects. You saw the work that I did across the 3 senatorial zones of the state on erosion control, places where floodwaters used to sweep people away, kill students. They are doing gigantic erosion control projects. When you are able to clear your indebtedness in this way, the cost of servicing debt, which is huge.
True.
Because a lot of these debts, some of them are even denominated in foreign currency. So once you get this debt out of the way, it frees funds for you to use education, health, all of the areas where our people need
the attention,
need to be helped. Because government must show itself to be keen and interested in the welfare of the people. How do you deliver on that kind of promise if you do not have the funds for projects, if you don't have the funds to intervene in health, to intervene by stocking your hospitals with drugs and all that? So I congratulate the governor for what he has done. This feat I congratulate the Commissioner for Finance, all of the people in his team who are managing the finances of the state. I congratulate them because this feat is a significant one. This is one of the poorest states in the country, now ranking amongst the first 5 in our country
when it comes to
in the area of
debts.
this state. So I think that we've not seen the best
More
of
still
the
to
state.
come.
If we can do this within so short a time, I'm telling you, by the time the debts are wiped completely clean, we will be able to focus on
bigger. I mean, do you think other states should take a cue from what the Kogi state government is doing, or do you think each state require maybe a tailor-made fiscal approach?
Well, I think generally any state that can reduce its debt, I think it's a major achievement. He was former Auditor General of local government.
Local governments, yes.
And probably that may have helped him. And I think he also has PhD, though not necessarily that also helped him. Because there are people with PhD that when you put them in a position of authority, they mess up.
Exactly.
Even after attending Harvard and all that. I think it has to do with his own personal discipline, financial discipline, fiscal discipline. And if you look at all the governors we have in the country, you know governors that are flamboyant. You know that he is not one of them. That almost every month, weeks, you see them going to parties, you see their, video and all sort of things. He's not one of them.
He's a silent worker.
He's a very silent worker. He's very prudent. He's very diligent. So he's a technocrat, and I think we can see that, in what he's doing in Kogi State. And I believe that if he can achieve this in less than 2 years, yes, it means that the future looks good for Kogi State.
Sure.
So because if you're able to pay your debt, then you have enough to service essential needs, like health, roads, and I think a lot of developments are also currently going on in Kogi State. Also face security and all that. So I'm happy that he was able to face, reduction of debt, cancellation and reduction of to the minimum. I think that's I hope other states will be able to do the same. And that means that I'm sure he was able to also cut his own personal expenses in terms of to be able to save money.
I mean, this
cost
also
of governance.
This also says a lot about the president giving more to the states, because if the president did not do this, I'm not sure Kogi State they won't.
We just have to tell ourselves
exactly. But
listen to what the Auditor General of the state said. So we ensure that all government funds are deployed strictly for their intended purposes. His Excellency's accounting background has brought a culture of accountability and efficiency to every level of government. Our systems now deliver more resources with fewer resources.
Absolutely.
And then he went on to say that the governor's support for fiscal institutions is very evident, and that the governor has not only backed reforms but insisted on compliance and value for money across all MDAs. So he also attributed improved revenue to reduce need for domestic borrowing.
Absolutely.
Saying the state government is conveniently funding a good number of capital projects within the funds available to it. And I'm also happy about the fact that the government is reform-minded, very deliberate in its financial approach of cutting waste and focusing on impactful spending.
Yes.
Now, the Kogi State has more than 20 solid minerals.
Yes, I was about to go there.
In commercial quantity. So, what I've always advocated for in our country, and I don't know why it's so difficult, let states set up gold refineries, for example. The states across the gold producing belt of our country. You see, the old northwestern states, beginning from Niger all the way to Kebbi State, it was a very big state in those days, because when you bring in Niger right up to Kebbi, so they produce gold in a lot of those states. Zamfara. You don't even need to struggle before you get to gold.
I think Osun should be also.
Osun also produces gold. But in the case of Osun, you need to dig something up to 100 meters before you encounter gold. In Zamfara, rain can fall, it will wash the topsoil and you will see gold. This is not, I have videos.
Wow.
Yes. The same thing with lithium. Lithium. You go to the former governor's hometown, full of lithium.
Why are we not making money from
So
this?
the thing, you see, now, what we have not, we need to do what they have done in Botswana. Get the private sector involved.
Okay.
If we get the private sector involved in ample numbers, the rate at which people are stealing these things illegally will go down. Because everyone knows that, okay, if I do it legally, I have something to gain. But a situation in which we place it on exclusive list, people will now tell, it's only the federal government that can do this. We have to be intentional in trying to change some of these laws to enable, why should a state like Zamfara, for example, be among the poorest in our country?
Exactly.
In terms of the resources that God has given Zamfara, it should be one of the richest.
Richest, absolutely.
See, gold, unlike crude oil, does not suffer the fluctuations that we see. The price of gold is always constant.
Sure.
The price of that, constant. It is crude oil that you see a lot of fluctuations today.
Yeah, because of a war going on.
Because two crazy nations are choosing to lob missiles at one another.
It affects the price of oil.
Price will just go up. That's not what we want to see. We need to focus. God has blessed this country tremendously. We have no reason being poor. Let's come up with strategies, policies that will ensure that we can harness these resources that God has given us. Go to Kaduna and see lithium in ample quantity. Come on. Lithium is virtually used for everything now. Whether you are flying a plane or
EVs,
not.
electric vehicles. The
So
Chinese government
poor?
will be...
Why are we poor? So this is the thing.
all right, now
that the state, Kogi State is trying
talking about
on
the Kogi State securing mining license, what does this really mean for the state's economy and the people?
It means that these funds will no longer go into the waste basket. Because all we have now is a situation where anybody can just go to, from Niger, from Chad, from anywhere.
And just come in
and take the resources of our fatherland and do whatever they like with it. Go and build machines in Dubai, and all sort of things, even buy private jets. But if the state is in control, because that resources belongs to the indigenous people of those communities. So they deserve the right to benefit from resources that has been given to them. So state taking over the control and management of those resources is key to the revival of the economy of those states involved. Kogi also has oil in a particular local government. Columbite
close
is there.
to the border with
Enugu. Coal is there.
All right.
Gemstones.
Just hold that thought. We have Wale calling in from Lagos. Wale, let's talk.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Wale. I'm calling from Alimosho, Lagos.
Let's talk.
Yeah. What I want to talk about now is that, yes, I really appreciate what Governor Ododo is doing in Kogi.
Okay.
And I want to encourage the other governor to follow suit. Accountability is very key, in subnational. As they are getting triple of what they used to get before. It's a kudos. That's a kudos to President Tinubu. But what I want them to do is that they should try and be very cautious the way they manage the resources accrued to them. Now, we have human capacity and we have infrastructure. Many of the governors are focusing more on infrastructure because they want to win the next election, neglecting human capacity. They are not investing in human beings. They are not investing. That's why there is so much poverty in the land. They are not investing. They are not building education. They are not building health centers. They are not investing in human beings. They are not creating so many of citizens. And that's why there's so much pressure on President Tinubu.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. He has made a very, very key observation there. Very, very key observation. But still talking about your thoughts, still on the benefits of this mining licenses, the state.
It's really going to benefit the states a lot. Instead of just allowing anybody to come in and mine those resources, the state will be able to know the quality and quantity of mineral resources available. The state will be able to take control of the marketing mechanism. And then what resources coming, the state will be in a position to take possession.
Now, will there be guarantees that the locals will be prioritized when it comes to the skills and the hiring, so that you don't bring others, outsiders, to come and...
These are some of the things that we should work out.
The indigents must benefit from.
You know, what they do now is they just hire some few individuals, give them few money, come and dig for me another. That's not what we want.
You need to see
we want
the
a pool of resources
devastation,
where everybody can benefit.
especially in Okun land, in Yagba area, for example. You need to see how illegal miners are digging up everywhere, destroying the landscape.
So there should be safeguards in place.
And it gives room for terrorist organizations who can come to these areas to mine resources, to fund their...
No, that's why bandits are now all over the place, because bandits are involved. Some of the illegal miners are even hiring bandits to protect them. This is what we are going through in Kogi now. Because Kogi is rich in gold, especially the Yagba area and Odoade in my own hometown. It's the same thing. We have this solid minerals all over the place. Nigeria has no business. Why is it that we don't have enough gold refineries? Because if we have gold refineries, they will be able to produce gold of the right quality, and it's a lot of money. Anybody who gives you gold bar, the size of this phone,
you're made. You're made.
We went to Ruben and I, another journalist. We went to Osun State to see the first refinery, the gold refinery. When they brought out that big bar of gold, Ruben now made like he wanted to put it in his pocket. He said, you can't get out of here. You take this big bar of gold out of here.
All right, gentlemen, we need to go on this quick break. And when we return, the conversation continues. Don't go anywhere. Still, journalists hang out.
In the 21st century, Nigeria cannot be an independent nation without technology independence.
All right, still journalist hangout. I still have Adewale Adeoye right here, and BKO is also right here on this table. So let's move straight to our next conversation. After months of internal wrangling, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, finally seems to be getting its house in order. Factions within the party have now aligned in support of Senator Samuel Anyanwu as the substantive PDP National Secretary. The move comes after weeks of contention over the position, with the party now projecting a united front. Meanwhile, a PDP chieftain, Kola Ologbondiyan, has accused the ruling All Progressives Congress APC of harassing PDP governors in a bid to force defections. Ologbondiyan made this allegation after President Bola Tinubu intervened in the rift between the suspended governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, and the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike. I mean, Adewale, yesterday was a very long day for the PDP. I mean, the PDP NEC meeting was held yesterday. Senator Samuel Anyanwu was also affirmed as the National Secretary. But talk to me, can we now say that all is now well with the PDP? Is it safe to say that?
Well, I think what happened yesterday was not a movement backward. At least for the first time since the presidential election. We could see people from both factions coming together to speak with one voice. That, okay, we are farming. Of course, they don't have any option based on the position of the court or who the PDP secretary should be. They wouldn't have defied what the court of law. But I think and I hope that it's not getting too late. Because the PDP in the past few months, has lost a lot of very important human assets that have crossed to the ruling party. And I believe that in the next few months or few weeks, more will probably have made up who have decided to cross over to APC, after negotiation and discussions with the APC leadership. It might be too late to bring those people back. But I think that the PDP has done the right thing, what they should have done more than 2 years ago. If they had taken the decision a very long time ago, I think things would have been better for the party. And I also hope that this decision was not taken out of fear of losing certain people, that let's just come together so that we can reconcile, at least for the purpose of the election. So I hope the reconciliation is qualitative, it's not just quantitative. Because if it's just, let's come together because the election is coming, it's not going to endure. So I know they have not resolved a lot of fundamental issues, but at least I think the party has made a step forward. In this country, we need a vibrant opposition. Party. But that opposition party is not just one that cannot even define itself, that cannot even, it cannot even rejig itself. And I also believe that the ruling party should learn from the fate of PDP. At the time, PDP was boasting that you rule Nigeria for 60 years. It shows that if you are in power, if you don't manage your sources very well, no matter how strong you are, no matter how many number of governors you have, how many number of people you have in the National Assembly, managing that sources is very important.
Sure.
And it means that you cannot regulate anyone. No matter how you think people are unimportant, they are relevant when it comes to politics. Because the vote of a professor and that of a street boy is the same.
It's the same.
When you are talking about the election. So managing your sources is very important. The PDP was not able to manage its sources, and that's why it found itself in this situation.
I mean, BK, at the PDP meeting, do you see it as a genuine way the PDP is reforming itself, or is this just a calm before another bigger storm?
Well, it's difficult to say, but it's significant that they came together. This was, according to Damagum, this was a one-agenda meeting.
Yes, one agenda.
They came to deliberate on their interactions with INEC and then come to some resolution. INEC made it clear from the beginning that any letter, any notice of meeting coming from the party must have the signature of the National Secretary running through it. You can't have a situation in which Damagum alone will sign a notice of meeting. It's against INEC's rules.
So the chairman and the co-sign.
No, yes, they have to co-sign that letter. It's always been the tradition. But some had argued from within the PDP that, look, because we have crisis, because we do not, we have crisis within our party, especially on the matter of National Secretary. Therefore, one individual, the acting, one person should act, which is the deputy secretary. But they came together and resolved that, look, let Anyanwu continue in his capacity, especially given the judgments from the Supreme Court and all. It's difficult. Those judgments, the judgment from the Supreme Court is even subject to multiple interpretations. So to be on the safe side, which was what I talked about last week, they then said, okay, let us agree for Anyanwu to continue to occupy that position. When they get to NEC or the National Convention of the party, which is the biggest decision-making organ of the party, Anyanwu's fate, along with the fate of others, can be decided. Instead of taking steps that can even compromise the interest of the party, because people want to contest election. There is the FCT council elections, for example. Somebody needs to sign. And if the right person does not sign, the document is invalid. So I think reason prevailed that, okay, let this guy hang on as chairman, as a secretary of the party till when we are going to have our NEC as well as the convention of the party. So all of the governors were in attendance, and they are the most critical stakeholders in the party. The governors agreed that yes, Anyanwu can continue. Before now, when Ilia Damagum, the chairman, decided to bring in Anyanwu, there was bedlam. Even staff of PDP secretariat, who naturally should not even get involved in such matters.
Even did a walkout.
They walked out. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing that they are back to. Now the same Anyanwu to continue. And if you listen to the governor of Bauchi State, is now saying, he described this as the miracle of PDP, that when people think we are down, we can always bounce back, this and that. So the party has to remember its past.
Okay.
And be determined to reclaim its past.
Is this not coming too late?
No, I won't say it's coming too late. The elections are still 2 years, almost 2 years from now. So they still have the opportunity to bounce back. Anything can happen. There can be a lift.
Okay.
You know? But if they don't move now, APC will keep plundering their members. The coalition will keep plundering their members. I was speaking with a very strong PDP member in Katsina State, and he was telling me that PDP, but we are not the ones who kill PDP. He said, a few people not kill PDP. I said, it's not us. What's my own, a journalist, who kill PDP. And I said, okay, what is the future? Are you attending the meeting? He said, no, that is not attending the meeting, that he is going with the coalition. So there are many people like that who are disappointed about the fact that the PDP has not been able to put its house together, and they're already thinking of getting out of the party. Those of them who hate the APC so much, who don't want to hear the APC, they will not join APC.
They'll rather go for the coalition.
The coalition, which has told us that it is going to send President Tinubu packing.
Talking about the accusation, let's look at the accusation by Kola Ologbondiyan. You know, he said that the APC is harassing its governors to defect to the APC. I mean, is there any truth to this?
Well, I think that instead of chasing shadows, you know, the PDP should talk about substance. You know, you can't be. It is the right of the ruling party to recruit more members, to win the next election, to work out the strategy that will ensure that the party wins. So if people are trying to lobby leaders in your party, what are you doing to also lobby people in the APC?
Yes. To bring them to
your own party.
That's another.
Even at the state level, where PDP is in control, what has PDP leaders in those states done? If you are now blaming, okay, APC is the president and other, at the state level, what those leaders in the APC, what have they done to bring in other people into their own party? So you can't just be blaming people. You know, you also have to look inwards. That these contradictions were self-inflicted. Now, even that we are talking about PDP, some members of PDP are already associated with new parties being established. Some of them are already talking about
to strengthen their own.
You know, some of them are already talking about presidential election, even talking about running mate. When the party has not had national convention, there has not been any decision taken. PDP leaders are already talking about who will flag the, parties, be the flag bearer. So the party needs to sit down and look inwards instead of blaming outsiders for its votes. Because if PDP is in power, in fact, if you are saying that the APC is trying to lobby your members, when PDP was in power, it was election was do or die. It's either you join the ruling party or you are in trouble.
Yes.
You are in trouble. A lot of parties.
Ever said it.
Yeah, they do or die.
Look at what happened to the Alliance for Democracy in the whole Southwest. They were humiliated, they were harassed, intimidated, decimated, physically, So if the party now is what APC is doing is to lobby and negotiate persuasion, it's no better than what the PDP did in the past.
Biko, do you actually believe that governors can be pressured to defect to the ruling party? I mean, does Kola Ologbondiyan does he have evidence to prove these accusations?
It is true that governors can be pressured. I won't sit here and say it's not possible.
Okay.
But I really don't think that is the case. I know a governor who on his own has been struggling to go and join the AP. Even when some elements tried to push him back, trying to get him to not come, he still found a way to go to see the president. He's the one who wants to join.
Yeah.
It's not that they are looking for him.
He's the one who wants to-
Ologbondiyan, my friend of more than 40 years, he knows that this is the case.
All right, Vicky, we'll just hold that thought. We have Alaba Alarakwe calling in. Hello, Alaba, are you still with us? Okay, I think the call.
Ologbondiyan, who my friend Yekoto Akindele will call Ologbondiyan. He knows, and I've warned him that one thing I will not tolerate is
It's to murder people's name.
especially my friend. My friend of many years that we did A levels together. You know, we call him Hawk. He too will call me Hawk. There were three of us. You know, I will not tell the story that led to it, but we were at a point even sent packing from school. So he knows that there are governors who on their own want to come and join the party, especially first-time governors who believe that, that they may not win. No. You know, there is fear of the ruling party, that the ruling party may deploy resources in such a way. Look at it now. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Because in analyzing politics, we have to look at facts on ground.
Okay.
All of the states that the PDP used to rely on to fund their elections, the governors are defected.
All right.
So where will they find money to do elections?
Okay.
It will hurt their chances. Let's not tell ourselves lies here.
All right, we have Alaba. Alaba is back here. Alaba, thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening to you guys.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Well, I want to congratulate the PDP for finding a way to resolve their issue. But if I have opportunity to ask the PDP, will they truly forgive themselves? Are they forgiving themselves? They need to check themselves very well. If I thought they're forgiving themselves, but because the way I'm seeing the PDP, they've not really forgiven themselves.
No,
they should look for me, the leader of the PDP, to look for the means how to bring Wike and Atiku together. If that can be done, that's when I will know that PDP has really resolved their issue.
All right. Thank you. Very valid point.
Very, very
Have
valid
they
point.
forgiven the child?
The thing is, as I said earlier, it was a one agenda meeting. Another meeting may not achieve this level of success because people's interests will now come in.
Okay.
So this is just a matter of, Anyanwu, should he continue or should he not continue? People believe that, okay, it's a matter of time, he will soon leave. So it was easy to come together.
Yes.
The BOT, that had been saying, no way, no way, no way, they agreed. People like, I think the governor of Enugu State, you know, who has said that, the Southeast
The Southeast issue, they need to...
Deputy, because they want to do
yes.
You know, so, but on this matter, everybody has agreed that, Anyanwu will just be there only for a short while.
Absolutely.
Let him just be there until we hold our neck and our convention. So
all right,
it was easy to agree on that. It's not a major
the national convention that will now determine.
All right, gentlemen, let's move straight to our final conversation. Institutions are often renamed in honor of notable individuals, but students of the Polytechnic Ibadan of their school to be renamed so lightly. Protests broke out in Ibadan as students of the school blocked major roads to reject the renaming of the institution after the late governor and first rector Omololu Olunloyo. The state government had announced the change as part of a broader effort to recognize contributions of the former governor to education and public service. I mean, what exactly triggered the students', should I call it, outrage over the renaming of the... Are there genuine concerns, or do you see this as political?
Well, for me, first of all, I think if you are looking at Omololu Olunloyo, if we are to look at on merit,
okay,
well, he was the first rector of that Polytechnic, and he has a track record on his side.
Okay,
I think at the age of 27, he was appointed commissioner for finance.
Yes,
yes,
I think the youngest at that time.
The youngest at that time. Moses Yekodumi. Though that was controversial because people felt that government was anti-people, but at least at 27, you know, he also became commissioner for local government, you know, and the community development. So, and he's a professor of mathematics. That's well known all over the world. So if you take that on this person, I think that is not a bad idea. But also looking at the history of that polytechnic, Ibadan Polytechnic is not just any polytechnic. Okay. It was established in 1970, by Edit 15, by the Western Nigerian government. So, in reality, historically, the Southwest states are stakeholders, in that polytechnic. And that polytechnic has produced so many great men, like the Oni of Ife, even Fayoshe attended that, and many others since 1970, but 45 years old now. So I think the problem with some of our leaders is lack of adequate consultation.
Consultation.
Because if you want to take this kind of decision, you have to look at the students as stakeholders. No matter they are 21 years old, 22 years old, they are leaders of tomorrow. They are going to produce governors, produce ministers, so you cannot underrate their feeling. And they have leadership, student union.
True.
That represent the students. So, and I think there should have been wider consultation. If that we are not under military rule, that any military government can just come over and say, we are changing the name of the institution to this and all that. So I think lack of consultation, it should have even gone beyond Oyo State, because we are all stakeholders in that polytechnic. It's our heritage. So I think when there's communication gap, there's bound to be conflict, there's bound to be disagreement. So I think that is a major problem that we have,
I mean, Miko, do you agree with him? Do you think there should be wider consulting with the students, the staff, the alumni of the institution before such change can be made?
Even if he tried to do extensive consultation involving the students, they will still go against the renaming of their school. You see, the name of a school, the school that produced you, that shaped your life, is an emotive thing for many people.
True.
It's an emotive thing. Look at when there was this agitation that Abiola had not been properly honored and all that. And Goodluck Jonathan tried to rename the University of Lagos. All hell was let loose. They said, no, we are not going to agree. They said, we are not going to agree. Even some of the people who truly see Abiola as a hero, that deserve the highest honor that you can give a man. Those of them who are students, ex-students of that school, they said, no, give him something else, not this our school. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. At the time when Ife was renamed, it was a military regime.
So there was really nothing exactly.
There was not so much. It wasn't as if they did not oppose it, but a military regime, and they had their way. One other thing is, today's young people, not many of them even know anything about Olunloyo. Olunloyo is not in the same class as Awolowo, for example.
Yeah.
When Awolowo died, it was a national issue. The then military president described him as the factor in the issue in Nigerian politics, or the factor in Nigerian politics.
Okay.
At that time, NTA News was told to carry Awolowo's funeral live by President Babangida, and even some of his biggest antagonists described him as the best president Nigeria never had. So Awolowo's stature loomed large right up to his death. So it can be excused if at that time there was minimal resistance, but not Olunloyo, for example. And that Polytechnic has a unique name.
The Polytechnic.
The Polytechnic Ibadan. All that will go. That the Polytechnic with that prefix. All that will go once you say, okay, Olunloyo. They will not. I'm not surprised that they've resisted. Today, if you say you want to rename University of Abuja, a lot of its students, of course, they will revolt.
So it's not
They'll
about
be happy to leave it there.
It's not about the name. It's about the school.
And
the name of the
the
school.
fact that a lot of them do not even know
Who it?
Honestly, a lot of them do not even know.
I think it was just a governor for a few months.
Yes, just 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months. Yes.
3 months.
The controversial governor.
Today's young
Yes.
people, those who are protesting, they know nothing about him. You know, they know nothing about him. They do sell the idea to them. They do try to sell the idea. The answer is no.
But blocking of roads.
No, they have to show their,
wasn't
they have to show their,
we did that when we were in school.
If you cannot
that's the
block
only way they can show their
Is
grievances.
there any other way they can, their voices can be heard without blocking?
The best
roads?
way was to protest peacefully, which they have done.
As long as they are not killing people.
Yeah.
Protest in a democracy is a normal thing.
People have been holding certificates for 30, 35 years.
Yes.
But the Polytechnic, they are all over the world. We now change it just like overnight to Oluloyo. Even when you take that university certificate, people are saying, where is this located? So, you know, our leaders need to think not just for themselves. They need to think for the people, you know, before taking decisions of this magnitude.
These kind of decisions are not easy to take. You must ask yourself, how will they take it?
Exactly.
Will it be popular?
And his politics wasn't actually popular.
All right, then.
You know,
Yeah,
the election
it
of
was not
1993
known.
was rigged. In his
All right,
favor.
then.
So it's
Election was rigged.
in terms of
massively.
moral content.
Absolutely.
An
No,
election
it's
in
not
which
good.
a local government will have the a ward
Okay.
will have the population of a local government.
Yeah, I was the beneficiary of that fraudulent election.
All right, gentlemen. It's a fine place for us. It's a fine place for us to leave it.
They should leave there. They should not rename it.
Exactly. Adewale Ade, thank you very much for doing this with us. Thank you so much. BKO, as always.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And that's all on Journalist Hangout today. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11. Join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We're on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Benga Oreshegun. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.
I heard that students have an opportunity to one fund like that has no interest.
I'm glad I heard about this name fund for my roommates. Then she told me about the grants. I was like, this is a nice idea. Let me just give it a try.
I'm a real Nigerian, born Nigerian, a resilient Nigerian. I live by the citizens' code. I'm a real Nigerian, accountable Nigerian, a caring Nigerian. I live by the citizens' code. I'm a real Nigerian, born Nigerian, a resilient Nigerian. I live by the citizens' code. I'm a real Nigerian, accountable Nigerian, a caring Nigerian. I live by the citizens' code. I'm a real Nigerian, accountable Nigerian, a caring Nigerian. I live by the citizens' code.
My name is Adeyemi Rashidat Abeni. I am from Oyo Town in Oyo State, from Oyo West Local Government. My dad is a commercial motorcyclist, in other words, Okada man. I'm one of the beneficiaries of the NEL Fund scheme, and it has been of a great help to me. I actually learned of it from my dad. He called me and was like, I heard that students have an opportunity to one fund like that has no interest. So I made inquiry, I asked from a friend of mine, and the person said, yes, it's true. So I applied, and then I was very happy when I got the first stipend, because I was very broke at that period. I don't have anything. So it's part of the reason why my dad asked me to actually apply for it. He said, we hardly give you money for food. You are the one that always go and look for work or something. So at that period, I have something that I'm expecting that, okay, at least I will collect some amount from NEL Fund and I'll be able to survive. And it has really, really been of great help. The very first day I heard the news, that I received the fund, I was very, very happy. I was very, very happy, because I was completely broke, like someone that doesn't have hope of what to eat or maybe how to go to school, and then you receive 20,000 naira. It was a very, very great thing. When I received the first payment, I was at home. I think I was completely broke and I was thinking, how would I survive? And then I checked my phone and then I was like, so amount. Then I checked the narration. I saw mail funds. So I was like, wow, they paid me. So I called them their dad because I've actually complained to them the previous day that I have nothing to eat, and they were like, we don't even have a way of helping you. So at this period, he was very happy. He said, you see now. So it has really, really been. I used to go for any like work if I see an opportunity to work somewhere. So I do it. That's not really been convenient combining work with school, but with this at least I'm able to at least cope.
I've got a willingness to contribute positively to the well-being of my fellow citizen. As a Nigerian, I'm a provider, helper, listen to me. As I listen to you, I'm a born winner and Nigerian security. As a Nigerian.
I'm Saatula Mustafa Muturayo from Kogi State, Ifo, local government. So I'm a student of Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. I'm glad I heard about this name fund for my roommates. Then she told me about the grants. I was like, oh, this is a nice idea. Let me just give it a try. They approved my loan, both the school fees and the stipend loan, but I accepted just only the school fees. So I haven't been accepting any stipend now. So although it's a very nice opportunity and I'm very glad, despite the school fees, I'm still glad about it. My mom is a trader, but my dad is an engineer, a retired engineer. My dad was paying my school fees then. So when he retired, then things actually changed. Things turned over. Then my mom as a trader, so she's just doing the aspect of the feeding aspect and the.
I'm a real Nigerian, born Nigerian, a resilient Nigerian. I live by the citizens' code. I'm a real Nigerian, accountable Nigerian. I live by the citizens' code.
Powered by National Orientation Agency.
Power, politics, and accountability on fireworks. No seat is too high, no question too hard. If they hold an office, they are on the hot seat. If they have power, they answer to the people and answer the hard questions.
Only strong men lead, not weak men who don't have knowledge, who don't have capacity, who don't have access.
This is not just talk. This is fireworks.
Corruption. It started corruption in when you cannot send your animal to where they train police officers.
No filter, no favoritism, no fear, no holds barred, unbiased, unafraid, unfiltered.
Why should people elected into office and are being funded by the treasury of the state, and then their salary and allowances will be treated in secrecy?
Fireworks, only on TVC News.
TVC News, first with breaking news.
Thanks for joining us on the program, everyone. After months of political turmoil, Rivers State may finally be seeing light at the end of the tunnel. Governor Fubara has publicly declared that his commitment to peace is not a sign of weakness, but a necessary step to safeguard the interest of the state. From Port Harcourt to Abuja, signs of reconciliation between the governor and his estranged political godfather, Nyesom Wike, are beginning to emerge. The governor's attendance at the burial of Mr. Wike's uncle, his outreach to supporters, and his pledge to prioritize stability underscore a new phase in Rivers politics, one defined less by confrontation and more by compromise.
I did say that there is no price that is too big to pay for peace. I meant it, and I still ready to follow it to the end. Nobody can take away the role my other played. That's the truth. And if today there is need for us to settle, please anyone who genuinely believes in me should understand that it is the right thing to do. Look at the projects that we initiated. Big roads have been abandoned. Look at other things that we initiated. Without this crisis, by now I know where we have been. We know the progress we have recorded. We know areas that would have developed these things better than what it is today. So there is need for this peace.
Yet behind these truths are lingering questions and concerns about a rumored one-term agreement by Governor Fubara and speculations that he in some way may nominate all incoming local government chairmen. Also under scrutiny is the state's proposed 1.48 trillion naira budget, with lawmakers at the National Assembly now querying allocations like 24 billion naira for CCTV, 30 billion naira for gun boats, and spending on federal projects without reimbursement agreements. As calls grow louder for an end to the emergency rule and a full return to democratic governance in Rivers, where does this leave politicians who were fiercely loyal to Governor Fubara at the peak of the crisis? Let's bring in Mervyn Yobana, former caretaker chairman at Kana local government, one of Governor Fubara's fierce supporters and ally during the crisis, but now seemingly aligned with President Tinubu's peace initiative. Mr. Yobana, thanks for joining us. You were one of the loudest voices backing Governor Fubara. We've had a couple of conversations in that regard on this show during the height of the political standoff. But recently, you've appeared to embrace President Tinubu's reconciliation efforts. What changed? What prompted your apparent shift in position?
Well, thank you very much for having me, and good evening, viewers. It will interest you to note that when the president declared a state of emergency in Rivers State, all of us, we were against it because we did not understand why democratic governance should be set aside for a military appointee to pretend over the governance in Rivers State. But it was later we got to understand that the president actually intervened to stop the impeachment of the governor and to ensure that the political actors from the legislative arm of government, the executive arm of government, and the FCT minister, who happens to be our national leader in the state, to reconcile properly. So when we got to understand this whole thing, that is why we went ahead to commend the president for this move, because actually it was degenerating to lawlessness. Remember that the governor tried several times to present the budget that the assembly requested to the assembly, but he was shut out of the assembly complex, the temporary structure they were using. So that is why you see we are commending the president. And this latest move